Pizarro. Wide for Ulloa. Crosses in. Header. Gibbs! Tie game! Best sequence of the night for Inter Miami. It ends with the first MLS goal.
Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to Miami Total Football. It's the day after Inter Miami continued its unbeaten run by extending it to a third game, and it did so with a 1-1 draw on the road against arch rival Orlando City in the Sunshine Clásico, El Clásico del Sol. And frankly, it wasn't very pretty. It was ugly, to be honest, but it proved effective for Inter Miami because they came out with a very defensive-minded game plan, and it worked out in terms of getting them a result, the first result at Exploria Stadium in the franchise's short history. So this was the first result for Inter Miami on the road against Orlando City. Now, obviously, they go down. Inter Miami goes down initially in this one just before halftime. Antonio Carlos scores on a well-worked set piece from the left, a corner kick from the left, that Nani ends up whipping in towards the back post, and the Orlando City center back out jumps Kelvin Leerdam to the ball and puts it into the back of the net. Now, Inter Miami didn't create a whole lot itself in this one, but in the second half, it found its equalizer in the 66th minute through an unlikely hero and a relative newcomer in Kieran Gibbs, who scores his first MLS goal by also getting on the end of a cross and heading home a very well taken snap header to the back post by the English fullback. And that was enough to give Inter Miami the result in this one and to continue to accumulate as the team tries to climb out of the MLS basement.
I think what I said to them at the end is we're beginning to resemble a team that can fight back from disappointments, going to go down and competing against the best teams. You think Philadelphia, Montreal, and today against Orlando, we've competed and been equally as good. So I want them to have more belief. I want them to have the belief that I have in them, and I think it's another small step forward in terms of where we want to get to.
Now, if we're going to dive into the X's and O's a little bit, in this one, Inter Miami came out with a 5-2-3 formation. It looked like it tried to throw off Orlando City, at least from the hour before kickoff when lineups are announced, because the graphic that the team displayed was a 4-3-3, but this was actually a 5-2-3 with wingbacks that were Victor Ulloa and Kieran Gibbs, and your front three were Gonzalo Higuain at the striker position, Lewis Morgan on the right, Robbie Robinson on the left. And the game plan for Inter Miami was to be defensively tight, to be defensively solid and tough to play against, especially in the middle of the park and in its defensive third. Now, Phil Neville looks to have taken a lesson or really taken positives out of what he saw from his game-changing tactic in the weekend win over CF Montreal, when he switched the formation to 5 at the back and became tougher to play against in the middle of the field. And that changed the game into Inter Miami's favor. And I think he wanted to repeat some of that here. He even said after the game that, he wanted to repeat some of that here. And that's why he went with a 5-man backline, in addition to the injury losses of Ryan Shawcross and Ventura Alvarado, and the suspension of Leandro Gonzalez Pires. So Phil Neville goes with 5 at the back. He goes with Blaise Matuidi and Gregory as the 2 central midfielders, and the front 3 of, again, Robinson, Gonzalo Higuain, and Lewis Morgan. Now, obviously, when you play that type of formation and you only have 3 natural attackers out there with that front line of Robbie Robinson, Gonzalo Higuain, and Lewis Morgan to start, that's going to limit your options for how you can create, for how you can score goals and generate chances. And Inter Miami didn't generate a whole lot in this one. They only finished with 2 shots on target, but again, that was part of the game plan from Phil Neville, because he wanted to emphasize being more tough and more solid defensively. I do think that maybe sitting Gonzalo Higuain in this one would have maybe been a better fit for the game plan, because Gonzalo Higuain, we know he's not at his best physically. He's not a player that can cover a ton of ground and doesn't have a whole lot of speed right now. So if you're going to focus on the defense and looking to counterattack more often than not, because you're not really going to generate good play from possession, because you just don't have the numbers in those advanced positions to knock the ball around and create, then I think maybe having someone like Julian Carranza from the start would have probably been a better fit, just because he gives you more mobility, and in terms of the pressing, in terms of maybe making those runs in behind that Gonzalo Higuain does not make anymore, or very seldomly makes. So I think Julian Carranza could have been a better fit, but again, the plan was to focus on the defensive side, and in that regard, Inter Miami held up very, very well.
We had a system of play that we thought would cause them problems, and it did. I still think we can play better in terms of in possession, but I thought we looked really solid defensively.
Now, while Inter Miami did not offer a whole lot in the attack, it did improve once Phil Neville, again for the second straight game, made a pair of substitutions that I thought impacted the game in a big way. He brought on Rodolfo Pizarro and Julian Carranza for Gonzalo Higuain and Robbie Robinson at the 61st minute mark, and I thought both of them quickly helped Inter Miami because they brought on fresh legs. Rodolfo Pizarro brought in more ideas and quicker passing. Carranza brought in more of an ability to press and to cause problems to Orlando City's defense when they were trying to build out, force some turnovers, and I thought they were both instrumental in helping give Inter Miami a little bit more control. They both actually also combined in the lead up to the equalizing goal in the 66th minute. They combine in the center before Rodolfo Pizarro hits Victor Ulloa with a pass out wide, and then Victor Ulloa, who has been very quietly playing very, very well for Inter Miami as of late, he whips in a delicious, sublime cross, and Kieran Gibbs gets on the end of it and nods it home. So both of those substitutions made an impact, I think, and for the second straight game, Neville pushed the right buttons in the right moment, and that helped Inter Miami get, again, another point in this one.
What Hooley did, he defended so well from the front. He tackled so many players. He enabled us to counter-attack. So I was really pleased with them both. And Hooley, I thought, probably should have finished the chance that he got a penalty. If not, he would have probably took the penalty and scored. But Rodolfo caused them problems, and he looks really, really close to his top form, and I was really pleased with that.
Of course, you can't talk about this one and not talk about Kieran Gibbs in a little bit more detail, because he gets his first MLS goal, and he gets the equalizer that gives Inter Miami its first result away to Orlando City. And Gibbs not only scored the goal, but he also looked to show that he's continuing to grow within his role in the team, because he showed that he can defend as he did as the left wing back, but he also got forward and was a regular, constant outlet for the team, even as early as in the first half when possession was still a little bit scarce. Even then, they constantly looked to him to try to play through him. He wasn't always at the sharpest with his passing or with his decision making, but I imagine part of that is a lack of fitness. He hasn't played all that much since January, February, and he has still to learn all of what his teammates like in terms of the runs they want to make, in terms of how they want to play. So I think with more time, he will get better in terms of adjusting, but it's still a work in progress, and that's something he acknowledged after the game.
To be honest, I'm struggling to adjust a little bit with the heat and coming over here and adapting. I'm sure it will come, but slowly but surely we'll hopefully get fitter and stronger as a team.
Gibbs wasn't the only player that stood out in this one, though. There were several good performances, again, from a very defensive-minded Inter Miami side. I thought Nicolas Figalo was pretty good as the middle of the three center backs there. I thought Christian McCoon was pretty solid, quiet but solid overall. And again, I thought Victor Ulloa and Kieran Gibbs both had good games. Robbie Robinson as well, including on that one play where he shoots, goes onto his left foot and takes a clip shot that was headed for goal, but was cleared off the goal line. So pretty good performances all around, although of course the attack left a little bit something to be desired, but again, that was part of the game plan in this one. Well, what did you think of Inter Miami's 1-1 draw versus Orlando City? Did you like the performance given the result, or did you think the performance left something to be desired? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, what did you think of Kieran Gibbs' performance, and what did you think of Phil Neville's substitutions for the second straight game? Do you agree that they helped make the difference or get Inter Miami back into this game? Again, let me know in the comment section below, and please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll be back very shortly because there's another game on Sunday against Nashville SC at home at Drive Pink Stadium for Inter Miami, so we'll be previewing that, of course, and of course after the match we will do our regular post-game coverage. stay locked in here for that. I am Franco Panizo. This is Miami Total Football, and we'll see you guys again very, very soon.